Welcome to the fascinating world of rare and endangered species. Today we delve into conservation efforts. Our planet is a marvelous tapestry of life, and every thread, every creature plays a vital role in maintaining its vibrant beauty. However, many of these threads are fraying, threatened with extinction. That's where conservation efforts step in, providing a lifeline to these endangered species. Remarkable strides are being made to protect and preserve these rare animals. Today we're going to explore 10 unique habits of these endangered species, each one a testament to their resilience and adaptability in the face of adversity. From their nocturnal lifestyles to their fascinating defense mechanisms, these traits are a testament to nature's ingenuity. So, prepare to embark on a journey that promises to be as enlightening as it is exciting. Intrigued? Let's dive straight into the first habit. Our first habit takes us into the world of the night, where many endangered species thrive. As the sun sets, a different set of animals awakens, their eyes adapted to pierce the darkness. This nocturnal lifestyle is not just a matter of preference, it's a survival strategy. Consider the elusive snow leopard, for instance. As night falls in the rugged mountains of Central Asia, this endangered species springs to life. The darkness provides cover, enabling them to hunt undisturbed and avoid potential threats. Then we have the kiwi, a flightless bird from New Zealand, another brilliant example of nocturnal adaptation. Its keen sense of smell and long beak help it find food under the cover of night. These examples show us how being active at night can help endangered species evade predators, find food, and ultimately survive in harsh environments. Living in the dark has its own advantages, doesn't it? Next, we explore the long journeys some of these species undertake. Migration is a remarkable aspect of the animal kingdom, a testament to the tenacity and adaptability of life. Endangered birds, for instance, may traverse thousands of miles, crossing continents and oceans, in search of warmer climates or fertile feeding grounds. Similarly, marine life, like the endangered blue whale, embarks on epic voyages, driven by the need for food and the urge to breed. These migratory patterns are more than just awe-inspiring journeys, they're crucial for the survival of these species. The routes they follow often lead them to areas rich in resources, critical for their survival and reproduction. However, these journeys are fraught with danger, from predators to exhausting harsh weather conditions. Yet, they persevere, driven by an instinctual need to survive and thrive. It's quite a journey they undertake, isn't it? Now let's talk about the art of blending in. Camouflage is a fascinating strategy used by many endangered species in the wild. It's like their version of a superhero's invisibility cloak, enabling them to disappear into their surroundings. It's a survival tactic, a clever trick that Mother Nature has bestowed upon her children. Imagine being a small creature in the vast wilderness, predators lurking around every corner, ready to pounce at the first sight of you. That's where camouflage steps in, offering protection by making these creatures virtually invisible to their predators. But it's not just for protection. Camouflage also aids in hunting. Predators often use this tactic to blend in with their environment, sneaking up on their prey unnoticed. From the spotted coat of a snow leopard blending with rocky terrains to the green hue of a leaf insect merging with foliage, camouflage is a vital habit for survival in the wild. Nature surely has its own invisible cloaks. Feeding time brings us to our next habit. Just as we humans have our own preferred cuisines and eating habits, the endangered species of the world have their own unique feeding habits that aid in their survival. Let's take a look at the giant panda, a beloved creature that spends nearly half its day munching on bamboo. This seemingly simple diet is actually a survival strategy, as bamboo is abundant in their natural habitat, allowing pandas to have a consistent food source. Or consider the vampire bat, a creature that, despite its eerie name, is a vital part of our ecosystem. These bats feed solely on the blood of other animals, a unique feeding habit that has adapted over time for survival in specific habitats. From the leafcutter ants that cultivate their own fungus food farms, to the archerfish that shoots water jets to knock insects into the water, the feeding habits of endangered species are as varied as they are fascinating. Who knew dinner time could be so fascinating? Let's now delve into the world of deep sleepers. Hibernation and estivation are two fascinating habits that some endangered species have adapted to survive harsh conditions. Hibernation, commonly associated with bears, is a long-term sleep that helps animals conserve energy during winter when food is scarce. However, it's not just bears who hibernate. Bats, ground squirrels, and even some species of birds also take this winter slumber. On the flip side, there's estivation, a less known but equally intriguing habit. Estivation is like summer hibernation. Animals like lungfish, desert tortoises, and some snails escape the scorching heat and drought by going into a deep sleep, often burying themselves in the ground. It's a fantastic adaptation that allows these creatures to survive in some of the harshest environments on Earth. These intelligent adaptations show us how resilient and resourceful nature can be, even when faced with extreme conditions. The animal kingdom surely has its own version of beauty sleep. Moving on, let's talk about the social butterflies of the animal kingdom. Some endangered species rely heavily on their social structure for survival. Take, for instance, African elephants. They live in complex matriarchal societies where elder females guide the herd, passing down knowledge from generation to generation. Their social cohesion is key to their survival, as they rely on each other for protection, food sourcing, and nurturing of the young. On the other hand, we have species like the Sumatran orangutans, who are typically solitary creatures, but even they have a subtle social structure, with males and females coming together only for mating, and mothers dedicating several years to raise their offspring. Their survival depends on this prolonged maternal care, and the individual skills they acquire. Whether it's a herd of elephants or a solitary orangutan, each species has its unique social fabric that aids in its survival, underlining the fact that in the wild, it's not only survival of the fittest, but also the most cooperative. It's all about teamwork, isn't it? Next, we delve into the world of animal romance. From the elaborate courtship dances of birds to the intricate mating rituals of insects, reproduction is a fascinating aspect of animal behavior. But did you know that the reproductive habits of endangered species can play a significant role in their conservation? For instance, some species like the giant panda have specific mating seasons and low fertility rates, which can make conservation efforts challenging. On the other hand, species such as the leatherback turtle lay hundreds of eggs at a time, but only a few survive to adulthood due to natural predators and environmental threats. These unique reproductive habits need to be understood and respected for effective conservation. By tailoring conservation strategies to accommodate these habits, we can help boost the chances of survival for these species. This could be through breeding programs, habitat protection, or even altering human behavior to lessen our impact on these fragile cycles. The circle of life continues. Now let's discuss survival of the fittest. In the wilderness, it's not always the biggest or strongest that survive, but those who can adapt and defend themselves best. Many endangered species display fascinating defense mechanisms that are unique and efficient. Consider the pangolin, for example. When threatened, this critically endangered mammal rolls into a hard, spiky ball that predators find difficult to penetrate. Similarly, the poison dart frog, one of the most endangered amphibians, produces toxic secretions that deter predators and ensure its survival. Then there's the mimic octopus, an endangered marine creature that can imitate the appearance and behaviors of more than 15 different species to confuse its predators. The hognose snake, a threatened species, takes a different approach. It plays dead, fooling predators into thinking it's not a viable meal. These are just a few examples of how endangered species use defense mechanisms to survive in a world full of threats. Survival truly is an art, isn't it? Our next habit highlights the power of adaptation. In the grand theater of life, adaptation is the unsung hero, the silent force that allows species to dance with the rhythm of an ever-changing world. Endangered species, much like the rest of the world's inhabitants, are no strangers to this dance. Consider the polar bear, a once iconic symbol of the icy Arctic, now a symbol of resilience in the face of rapid climate change. To survive, the polar bear has learned to adjust its diet, shifting from seals to smaller prey and even terrestrial food sources. Or take the case of the snow leopard. Threatened by habitat loss, these elusive cats have adapted to a wider range of altitudes, expanding their territory to ensure their survival. These examples serve as stark reminders of the power of adaptation. The ability to change and adjust is not just a trait, but a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. Adaptation is indeed the key to survival. Finally, let's discuss life in captivity. It's a term that stirs up mixed emotions. On one hand, we imagine a life devoid of freedom and natural instincts. On the other hand, captivity often serves as a sanctuary for endangered species, a stronghold against the harsh realities of extinction. Take a moment to ponder the role of zoos and wildlife sanctuaries. These institutions are not merely spectacles for human amusement, but rather, they serve a critical purpose in the conservation of endangered species. They provide a safe haven where these creatures can live, breed, and thrive, shielded from the threats they face in the wild. In captivity, endangered species often undergo a process of adaptation, not just to their physical surroundings but also to their caretakers. This symbiotic relationship fosters a sense of security and trust, enabling these precious beings to continue their lineage. Life in captivity, a necessary compromise for survival. Well, that brings us to the end of our fascinating journey. We've wandered through the nocturnal lifestyle of some creatures and observed the migratory patterns of others. We've marveled at the art of camouflage and the unique feeding habits that set these species apart. We've delved into the world of hibernation and estivation and explored the complex social structures of the animal kingdom. We've learned about reproduction, defense mechanisms, and the amazing adaptations these creatures have made to survive. Most importantly, we've seen how some of these species are under threat, and how zoos and conservation efforts are working tirelessly to protect them. Each visit we make to these places, each moment we spend learning about these animals, contributes to the preservation of these incredible species. So how many times have you visited such scenarios? Share your experiences in the comments below. Remember, every visit supports the conservation of these incredible species. Thank you for watching.